Hello, everyone. You are listening to the Let's Live podcast, a podcast about fashion, beauty, travel, and I do interviews as well, like today. Today, I have my first in-person guest. I have Lucinda here.
Hi, how are you going?
Good. Do you want to tell a little bit about yourself, who you are?
Okay, so my name's Lucinda. I'm a student here at UW-Madison, and I'm on the track and field and cross-country team. I'm a fifth year, but I'm originally from Australia, so I've been living in the States for about 4.5 years now, almost 5.
That's so cool. And when did you start getting into running?
So I started running when I was 10, actually. So that's when I first competed. I just followed one of my older sister's friends to running training once. Like, I was originally a swimmer because everybody in Australia pretty much starts off with swimming. And then so I was like a little scrawny little kid. So I got into running and just loved it, and it clicked, and I've stayed with it ever since.
Super fun. And then why would you pick, you came over to the States for college, obviously, university. Yeah. Why did you pick over States and Wisconsin?
So I always knew that I wanted to come to the NCAA just because it is so highly competitive. It's just really great quality athletes to compete against, and also it's just a remarkable opportunity. There's no universities like the universities in America anywhere else. At home, the colleges are great, but there's no sports aspect to it and no real campus life. So I knew I wanted to come here to get that full experience, like living on campus, but also being a student athlete. And we don't have like the setup with like the personal trainers or the masseuse or the recovery equipment. We don't have American football or anything like that. So I knew I wanted to come to the NCAA. It was just a matter of where. And I'm from a really hot part of Australia, so I thought if I'm going to come all the way to America, I'm going to do something different. So I was like, let's go to the snow.
Oh my God.
So definitely got the cold here at Wisconsin. I took a couple of like official visits, and I just clicked with the team here. I really loved the girls. I really loved the philosophy behind the program. And I thought campus was really cool. It had like everything to offer. Like, the lakes are beautiful. Like, it's a good sized town. There's plenty of stuff to do. So yeah, I came on a couple of visits and I committed to Wisconsin maybe like 3 days later.
Oh my gosh. Okay, super cool. Okay. And how do you feel about your decision now? Because it's like freezing cold.
Yeah. Sometimes in like the depths of like late January when it's really cold, I definitely notice the cold, but I don't want to complain because I committed here knowing how cold it was going to get, but I think I've been like pleasantly surprised like how manageable it is. Like, we can run pretty much all winter long, but absolutely no regrets. I love being here. Like, everything else outweighs the fact that it is bloody cold.
It's so cold. Oh my gosh, yeah. And what events do you run or like race?
So during the fall, cross country, so women, we race 6 kilometers. And then when we transfer over to track, I do distance running. So in the indoor season, I'll do anything from a mile to a 3K or 5K, and then in outdoors I'm predominantly a 3K steeplechaser, and then I'll also do a little bit of the 5K.
Okay, sweet. Very good. What's your favorite?
Probably steeplechase. I think that's where I'm most competitive in. I like it because it just breaks up the normal running, because you have to think about getting over the hurdle, because you absolutely do not want to crash into those barriers because they will hurt. But I think probably the steeplechase. I love both track and cross country. Indoors is it's definitely my least favorite season out of all three, because it's cold and it's gloomy and it's dark.
Yeah, it's a little bit go around and around all the time.
Oh yeah, the track's tiny. And if you're running a 5K indoors, it's so many laps.
Yeah, I can't even imagine. And for Wisconsin, where are like your favorite places to go, study, get food, chill?
Oh, okay. My favorite places to study, I'm usually in the business school. There it's like, I feel like I'm kind of infiltrating the regular student life there, and it's like the business school is like really nice and pretty, but I like to study in coffee shops a decent amount. I've been studying at Leopold's recently. Have you been there?
No.
Oh, it's really cool. It's like it's kind of like an older person, mature vibe, and it's like a bookstore meets cafe.
Where is it at?
It's near like Rocky Rococo Pizza.
Okay, I'll have to go check it out.
Yeah, no, it's
so
good.
Cool.
Yeah. Okay. So if I'm going out to eat, I definitely for like brunch kind of vibes. I love Marigolds by the Capitol.
Oh yeah.
And Cora's a good one. They've got really good avocado toast.
Okay.
But yeah, I love cafes. Brunch is like my favorite meal of the day. I could eat brunch all day.
All day long. Do you start your day super early? Like, what's your typical day here at school?
So I'm a pretty high mileage runner. So I don't like to start class too early if I have to double on a running day. Because before classes, I start classes at 9:30 every single day, and I need to get in like a couple miles before that. So I usually wake up at like, if I'm doubling, I don't double every day, but I wake up at like 7:30, get a couple miles in, go to my 9:30 classes, and I'm in class so usually around like 12:30 or 1, squeeze in some lunch, squeeze in a little bit of homework, and then we start practice at 2:30. And then once you go into Camp Randall for practice, that's where our locker rooms are. It's a vortex. It sucks up all your time. I'm leaving at like 7 o'clock from that place. And then usually it's cooking dinner, getting in whatever homework I have to do. And then I don't go to bed till like midnight. I go to bed pretty late.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's kind of like my typical day.
Yeah, doing that. Okay, that's super cool. And then kind of back to running, you ran for Team Australia a few times. Do you want to tell your experience with that?
Okay, yeah. I've been pretty fortunate to be selected in like junior teams, not any open Australian teams, maybe one day. But my first Australian team that I made, I was 16, and we went to World Schools cross country. So a couple girls from my school, we made it. Like my little sister and I made it, so we were racing together. And that was probably the most fun like travel trip I've been on. We were racing in Europe, so we went to like Vienna and Prague, and then we were racing in Budapest. So it's like they really treated us well. And then since then, I've competed for track and field in Fiji for Australia, and then I'm probably going to butcher the pronunciation of this place. It's called Aarhus or something like that in Denmark. I went there. I was racing on the Australian junior team my freshman year of college here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Freshman year, okay.
So yeah, went to Europe during like the indoor season here. I missed a couple meets, but my coach was happy for me to do it. And so, yeah, so I've got to travel to some pretty cool places, like all around the US when traveling with Wisconsin, and then thankfully some international races too.
Yeah, for sure. How do you deal with like traveling, getting off a plane, and then knowing you're going to race? Like, what do you have any like rituals that you do so your like body's ready?
Yeah, it's, our coaches are like pretty good with like making sure travel is like as smooth and efficient as possible. So we will never like show up to, if we're traveling somewhere, we'll never travel the day of the race. So they give us at least like 24 or 48 hours to recover. So it's just like staying hydrated on the planes, because I'm shocking with remembering to drink water. But then it's like a lot of stretching when we get off the plane, and we'll usually shake out, like go for a quick little run if we've been flying or if we've been on the bus for a really long time, just to kind of shake the junk out of the legs to make sure we're ready to go.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, super cool. I love it. And how do you like find balance? Like, since you are at a Big Ten university, you have football games, you have like parties and stuff. Like, what do you, in social life, of course, what do you, like, how do you find the balance between being an athlete, staying strict and staying to your plan, as well as like having friends and going out and, you know, all those things combined?
Yeah, I mean, not gonna lie, sometimes it is super stressful and sometimes it's really overwhelming. Because for me as a person, like I really love to be social. I like to hang out with my friends. I like to do things where I know some other people are a little bit more like introverted, but that's who I am. And I know I've done the whole, I'm going to stay at home in bed at 9 p.m. runner kind of lifestyle, and my running was not going well. I was really unhappy. So I just stuck to like what I know, and I like to balance being social and running and studying. So I think like being time efficient, like in the morning I'm most productive, so that's when I'm like I have to get all my homework done. And then if I'm like going out, I usually will not even let myself get ready until I've done my homework. So it's kind of like a little reward. But as far as balance goes, it's not too much of a problem. Like with running, I love running, and I see it as almost like a break from studying instead of something that like I have to get done. It's something I enjoy doing. Like I still have to run this afternoon, but like I'm looking forward to it because I've been studying all morning and we had graduation this morning. So keeping a balance, it is trying to like know when to pull away and when to stop. Like if I'm super overwhelmed and super stressed with school, I might have to cut my run short, and at the end of the day that's not really going to matter. Like 6 miles isn't going to make or break an athlete.
Right.
Yeah,
absolutely. Do you also like do other like workouts as well in addition to running, like lifting as well? We
do lift, and my teammates will know I absolutely hate lifting. I hate going into the weights room. I'll find any excuse not to go into the weights room, but we lift twice a week because it's really important, especially for female athletes, just to make sure we're not getting fractures and we're not breaking. We need to have some form of muscle on us, not only so we can be better runners, but for injury prevention there. So we lift weights twice a week after our workouts on Tuesday and Friday. And then I've had some coaches that have been super into yoga. I feel pretty badass when I do yoga, but it's like a lot of stretching and it's really good for you. So we do that. We don't like work out running every week. We work out twice a week, and then the other days are just miles. And then depending on the days, maybe we'll like push the miles so they're faster, or sometimes it's like recovery miles. It just kind of depends.
You like speed workouts and stuff.
Yeah.
That's so exciting. Oh my gosh, it's like bringing me back to my running
Yeah,
days.
running days. Do you miss it? You can come back.
Honestly, I have been running a little bit, which has been really nice. Like but like no speed workouts, just like long mileage. Like I don't know, 5 to 10 within that range. Like, depending on the day.
You can jump on the bike path right there.
Yeah.
It can take you all around
Madison.
Madison.
It's so close, which is so nice. And it all goes around Madison. You see the Capitol, so pretty.
Oh, Capitol's gorgeous.
It's the best part, I think. That's my favorite part. All right, let's talk about fashion. I love your style. So cute.
Thank you.
Cute. First of all, how do you stay cute when it's like super cold out? Because every day I literally want to wear sweatpants and a big coat and just...
Oh, totally feel that. Absolutely. So, not gonna lie, going to class, I do look questionable some days, especially if I've run in the morning. But I think accessories, honestly. I love a big scarf. I love like a cool statement beanie. Like my parents visited like a month ago. My dad picked out a really cool beanie for me. So I was like, I'll be wearing that this winter. But if it's not class-wise, if I'm like going to Chicago or something, I'm a huge fan of like long wool coats. I got a couple of them, like an oversized long one. I feel like that's so easy to like look put together. Other than that, like leather jackets, like a good pair of boots. Okay. When I went to Australia for Australian winter last time, what was trending, and I had to get a pair, was like knee-high leather boots with like a good heel on them. Okay. So that's kind of like my winter. I guess that's how I stay in blazers. I love blazers.
I do too. I love a good blazer. Yeah, I always wear it. Isn't it? I feel so cool when I have one on, or like so European. I'm like, back to my roots. Yeah, that's so fun. Okay, very nice. And then what was I gonna say? Oh, your wool coats. Do you get those from Aritzia?
Oh, I haven't, but I think I will.
I got one from. I like it.
Yeah, I love Aritzia. They're so good for basics. My mum got me my like kind of camel colored wool coat. She got it for me like 2 Christmases ago, and it was like a Ralph Lauren one, so she was like, this is an investment.
Yeah, you'll have it forever.
So like, thank you, Mom.
What would you say is your like top 5 favorite, well, I don't know if 5's a lot, but like top shops that you...
Shops?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so I feel like I have 2 wardrobes. I have my wardrobe in Australia and then my wardrobe here, because the fashion's very different. I try to like integrate it as much as I can, but I'm like... So here I love like my sneakers and my like Nike Dunks and my Jordans, but I wear them in Australia and people don't appreciate them. It's like, it sucks.
I feel like also over there, isn't it like way more like they dress up more?
It's a little bit more like European-y kind of style. So when I'm here, I like love Aritzia. I get so much stuff off Aritzia or Revolve, because you can get anything on Revolve. Yeah. Zara's also really good. But when I'm at home, what brands do I wear when I'm at home? It's a lot of like linens. I really get around linen and silk at home, especially I'm such a sweaty person, so linen's really good if you're a sweaty person. So yeah, that's kind of like my variations. I'm trying to think where else I shop here. What are these? These sweatpants are Aritzia. They definitely are, yeah.
It's kind of hard too, because we're like Midwest. It gets to like negative in the negative.
It's freezing.
So it's like, I just want to wear these. Like, I just want to wear sweatpants and like, I don't know.
Rug up.
Yeah, like it's so hard to like look cute when I'm going to classes.
Oh yeah, if I put on a pair of jeans, it's a good day.
Yeah, I agree. I completely agree with you. Do you have any like style icons that you look up to, or not really?
Oh yeah. So she's an Australian influencer. She's from Sydney. Her name's Sammy Robinson. She's to die for. I want to copy every single thing she does.
How do you spell it?
It's Sammie, and then Robinson.
This one?
Yeah. Oh, Sammy.
All right. No, it's all good. If anyone wants to go follow her.
That's her. I'm in love with her. She has a clothing line called 1 Mile. I love that stuff.
Oh wait,
as well.
I've seen that.
Yes.
Okay. Very cool. Oh, I even follow her. I
didn't follow her.
I didn't even know.
Yeah.
That's so funny. Okay.
Yeah. I love her.
Yeah, she's really
I
cool.
love everything she does, and I want to be her. She dyed her hair brown, and I was like, I've been a blonde my whole life, but maybe I need to
Maybe
be brunette.
now's the moment. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's so fun. What are like your little habits that kind of define who you are? If someone had to say like your little habits to keep you healthy and happy, what would they be?
I think, okay, this is probably from my coach. She says this a lot. It's, I guess with your habits, it can be taken to two extremes and whatnot, but she says I'm like chill to the point that it could probably be my like detriment.
Okay.
So it's like my little habits is like if something goes wrong, it's like, oh well, like it is what it is. Like my trainer says like I'm very chipper that like I had a stress fracture one year and I was like, oh well, only 6 weeks out. And she was like,
yeah, that's a thing.
You broke your foot. And I was like, it'll be fine. I'll be back.
Good.
So yeah, I guess my little habits is like, I try to tell myself when something goes wrong, it's like, well, it can literally only go up from here.
Yeah.
But little habits. Ooh, I'm not too sure. I know this is mine. I really enjoy coffee. So I did invest in like an espresso machine. So like I start my morning every morning with a latte that I like to make myself.
Yeah.
So, and then I'll make another one at like 10, and then another one at 2, and then another one at 5.
Keeps you going.
Yeah,
that's
literally.
fair. It's fair.
Yeah, that's probably like one little habit I think I have. Caffeine.
Sweet. I love it. I mean, yeah, any kind of coffee I'm down for. So
yeah.
Super cool. And then my last question would be, how do you deal with your injuries and like mindset when someone gets injured?
So I've been pretty fortunate that I've only had one super bad injury. It was like my junior year. I had a stress fracture in my cuboid bone. I hate the cuboid bone now. But yeah, so I was in a moon boot and we had a winter cross country season and an indoor season. And so I was like super upset that I had to miss that. And so I was cross training and I was swimming in the pool. So it was taking me back to like my swimming days of when I was younger. And I was like, oh my God, absolute respect for swimmers now. Because you can't breathe when you're under the water. It's
so
awful.
hard. I went swimming with my friend the other day. It was
it's hard.
horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible. It's so hard.
It's like cardio on another level.
Oh yeah, it's so difficult.
Yeah. So I think I was just, when I was injured, I was just trying to focus on the outdoor season. And my coach was like, you have to like work your butt off if you want to be ready to go for an outdoor season. So I like knew what I wanted to do when I was diving into the pool at 6:15 a.m. in the winter. I would be leaving and it was freezing cold and pitch black, and I'd go dive in the pool and try and like absolutely work my butt off when I was in the pool, because I knew that if I wasn't going to do it, the transition to get back into running was going to be so hard.
It's like impossible. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just kind of went ham with the cross training. Sometimes it does suck, but there was like, that's when you got to lean on your teammates, and there were some other girls that were also cross training, and we would link up and do it together so we weren't so isolated. Because the worst thing about getting injured is not the fact that you're injured, but you feel so isolated from your team.
Yeah.
And it's like your team's like everything. They're like your friends, you see them every day, and when you kind of like get removed from that, it's awful. It sucks so much. So it's like trying to stay connected, and like I was pretty fortunate that the cross training did help me cardiovascularly so that I was able to put together an outdoor season. And I couldn't quite race the steeplechase because that's a lot of like impact with the jumping, so I just ran the flat 5K. Ended up being not too bad of a season, so
that's good. Oh my gosh.
So just try to focus on like what you can do instead of being like, this sucks right now.
Yeah, you're stuck. And I definitely what you said, like teammates help. I broke some ribs like in rugby this
You
past
broke ribs?
Yeah, this past
Ouch.
past season it hurt so badly.
Oh
but there's a few of us that were out, so it definitely helped.
Yeah.
It was,
Are you okay now?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was talking to my friend actually when we were on our run, and I was like, thank God I'm better, because it hurt so bad. And like it wasn't like the first time, like it wasn't like the first like minute that it hurt. It was like the next morning. I like sat up in bed and I was like, oh my gosh.
I you didn't like pop a lung or something like
yeah,
that.
that's what I was scared of for like a while, and if I still played, because I was like debating. I was like, do I just like I don't know.
Lucinda.
Yeah, that's what I was like thinking. I was like, do I do that? And then I called my dad. My dad's like, you could like literally puncture your lungs. Like maybe you don't. So I didn't. But yeah, thank you so much for coming on.
Oh, not a problem at all.
Do you want to say your social media so they can all find you?
Oh yeah, okay. My Instagram is Lucinda_Crouch, and my TikTok, I believe it is Lucinda Crouch, just no underscore. What other social media? I think that's all my social medias. Yeah,
I'll link them all too. So yeah, thank you.
Yeah, well, thank you for having me.
Of course.
Yes.